Obama. Joining me now is former Republican National Committee Chairman Michael Steele. He's also an MSNBC political analyst and host of the Michael Steele podcast. Michael, I enjoy speaking to you so much because you just say it the way it is. You were as straightforward with your feelings toward those who voted against the independent January 6th commission. You tweeted the words, "pathetic cowards." Tell me what you really thought.
Yeah, hey, man, it's good to be back with you, Ari. This is personal for me, and those two words were just I don't know. That was the only way I could put it, Ali. It was just to kind of say, look at the members of my team, guys that I have known and worked with over many years. Who once stood for something, once said something that meant a lot and could mean a lot to people, just buckle because McConnell wanted them to, buckle because Trump wanted them to, buckle because McCarthy wanted them to. There was no leadership there, and that's what that moment called for. And I don't know, Ali. I kind of look at this and just say to myself, where do you go from here? What do you say next to the American people? How do you now come on the other side of this vote or non-vote and say to Brian Sicknick's mother, what do you say to her? She walked the halls of our Congress trying to get people to do the right thing, to vote, to just find out why her son died. And the arrogance.
Yeah, Brian Sicknick's mother is she's like every mother of a slain child whom I've ever met. Not somebody seeking the limelight, not somebody who looked like she had any interest in ever being on TV or in the halls of power, going there to knock on the doors of Republican senators to say, please just support the investigation. She was not asking anybody to support an outcome, to support a decision, to support a finding, just the asking of questions.
That's it. Just tell us, just help us find out what happened, because she is representative of all of us. I grew up in Washington. I used to hang out with the Capitol Hill police when I was a kid. Back in the day, you could just go sit on the steps and talk and chat. So that my experience with them, was very personal, just like it was for many Americans. And to watch what unfolded on that day, get just shoved aside and put in a political box, to me, just was such an enormous slap in the face to the men and women who serve, but to a country that deserves to know what happened. And so, the majority leader says he's going to maybe bring it up for another vote. We'll see if hearts and minds change in between. Probably not, because it's hardened,
Except for the respect that those 6 members of the GOP, those 6 senators got for doing this, and Pat Toomey, who said he would have done. And now, in fairness, many of these are senators who are either not running again or who have made it very clear that they have zero need to be affiliated with Donald Trump. I'm a little puzzled as to why Mitch McConnell, I get it. This thing's going to come out at the end of the year if there was a report. It's going to implicate some in the Republican Party, but it's going to implicate nobody as much as Donald Trump and Josh Hawley and a few members of Congress who were active promoters of it. Everybody else could wash their hands of it and say, this is bad. We don't want to be involved in this grievance-based domestic terrorism.
Yes, you make too much sense, my friend. That's the logical view of this. But then you throw into the calculation of how the narrative unfolds with an angry, grievance, conspiracy-oriented base that just wants to strip bare. They take to heart the very words of Donald Trump's emergence into politics in 2016 and his run for the presidency, to deconstruct those institutions, to tear out those individuals who stand in their way. And so that part of the base vote still plays a big role in that thinking. So even though, I'm not up for re-election, in 2022, I'm fairly safe in my congressional district or my state, they still don't want to be harangued. They don't want to go to a state central committee and be censured. They don't want to have people sending little ugly notes to their office. They want it to be clean and pristine. And unfortunately, that's not how this works. You've got to get your hands in this if you're going to lead. And you have to push back against what Donald Trump has pushed. Now, what are they going to do? What's this party going to do when Donald Trump starts up his rallies again? They think this stuff just stops. It doesn't. It doesn't get better. Yep. And that's the reality, and that's why what happened was so sad.
Good to see you as always, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Michael Steele is the former RNC chairman, MSNBC political analyst. Don't forget to check out the Michael Steele podcast. It's great wherever you get your podcasts.